20 years ago, Walleyes for Tomorrow had a Sauger program where we took Sauger eggs up at High Cliff and we took them to a hatchery on Lake Butamore, hatched the eggs there, and then we took the fry back out into the Lake Winnebago and turned them loose. We did that for 10 years. And there was a documented benefit from doing that. The Department of Natural Resources in their sampling efforts documented every year a rise in the number of sauger that they saw in the lake. We stopped that for 5 years, and as over the course of those 5 years, the sauger population reproduction declined precipitously, and to where now it's virtually non-existent. There is some, because there are a few small walleyes. So what we wanted to do with our current program is, it was a 5-year program with the department. We would again take the eggs and fertilize them at High Cliff, but we took them all the way to Berlin on the Fox River, just upstream from Berlin, in fact. Put them in a hatchery, and we were releasing the fish directly into the river. As I've said before, sauger are river fish. They are turbid water fish. In all the river systems where they exist in the country and do real well, that's the case. They don't do well in clear water environments. So the Fox River typically is a turbid, obstructed body of water that runs directly into Winnebago. So it is the same body, it feeds the Winnebago system. It's one of the, other than the Wolf River, it's the second biggest feed into the system. And our intent is to try to acclimate the fry when we hatch them at Berlin, so that when they mature, they may possibly come up the river. We don't know they will. But what we always say is, if we don't try something, it isn't going to happen. So that's exactly what we're trying to do. We've done this now. This is our 4th year. We haven't seen any results. They may come up. We don't know at what point the females mature. Typically, a female walleye matures sometime between her 5th and 6th year. If that's the case with sauger, we still got a couple years before we would see any females come up the river to potentially spawn. So this is kind of a waiting game. This would be the 5th year, and maybe they would come up next year to spawn. But that's all we're trying to do is facilitate a better spawning population in the lake. Right now, the lake spawners don't do well. We know that. So we're giving it a shot, trying to do something a little bit different.